when a mandate is stolen, there is nothing good that comes out of mandate. When you win an election through rigging, it means you do not have anything to offer to the people. That is why the rigging in the first place. And in the end, what will happen? Empty governance. Now, mark my words, President Tinubu has spent over 30% of his office time abroad, and that is, even as official reports by Grok has said, President Tinubu has spent roughly 30% of his time in office on foreign trips so far, based on reports of 480 days abroad out of 580 days by late 2024, with additional travels in 2025, maintaining a similar ratio. This president is a joke, and anybody who is supporting him, in my personal opinion, is also a joke. All these are the people who make this president to think that things are going fine and things are not going fine. And it makes me to wonder that if he is traveling like this, the way he's traveling, you will think he has never seen a plane before. So he's trying to get used to the opportunity to travel around the world before he's finally probably booted out, if ADC and other coalition people know what they are doing. Because right now, individual ego is beginning to affect the chances of any opposition. And if Tinubu will stay there for 8 years, so be it. It's none of my business. But in the end, leaders need to be called, out when they carry out bullshit. Now, Nigerians are happy that Tinubu has gone out. He has gone out fine. Are they happy? Yes. Because even in Nigeria, this man looks like a person who is sleeping in power. Now, President Tinubu travels 200 times out of Nigeria. He should stop wasting our resources traveling abroad, as people are suffering. Dollar exchange rate is about 1,600 naira, impoverishing the masses. And these people who do not have anything to offer just think that going abroad is the solution to the problem, when in the end, these hospitals, they go abroad. Nigerian has the money to have better equipment, but nothing like that is done. And these clowns who call themselves our leaders will be traveling out at the slightest opportunity. Look at that one who calls himself the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. To me, one of the most corrupt of all time. He was facing EFCC problem in PDP and he switched to APC, and now he's there. He traveled to the UK when he was reported to have had one or two issues. Meanwhile, the National Hospital in Abuja has most of all those equipment, but because they do not even have confidence and faith in the quality of the doctors they've left in our country, they go out there to go and even receive treatment from some of these doctors, African doctors. It's a shame and a disgrace that these people are like that. These people are a disgrace to politics. If we had a country with a functional financial crime institution like the EFCC, people like Yahaya Bello should be behind bars instead of coming here to dictate to constitutionally elected people who call themselves House of Rep members that they must follow the dictate of Yahaya Bello's successor, Ododo. Now, EFCC chairman once vowed to resign if he didn't prosecute Yahaya Bello. Today, he is still in office and Yahaya Bello still walks free while opposition ADC leaders are chased at full speed. Nigeria deserves an EFCC that fights corruption, not political battles. Justice must be served. Now, I listened with disgust how a criminal like Yahaya Bello, whose child's school even returned $760,000. You heard right, $760,000. That is over 840 million to the EFCC that was stolen by Yahaya Bello. And now, this man is still there, coming out to influence the politics of Kogi State. EFCC needs to be ashamed of itself. The chairman of EFCC needs to resign because he said he will resign if he cannot prosecute Yahaya Bello. Now, how can a former governor, a criminal at that, who calls himself a youth, a man that is a disgrace to youth and a disgrace to Kogi State, who did nothing for the 8 years he was there other than to be fighting Dino Melaye, Yahaya Bello, ordering members of Kogi State House of Assembly to sit on the floor and directing them to pass anything without questioning that comes from his stooge, Usman Ododo, a clown in my own opinion. And we have human beings defending this criminality as democracy. Nigeria is a joke.
So you are going in there now. Go and cooperate with the speaker. other members of the House of Assembly of Kogi State, and the part of those that will support Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo. Are you getting my point? In everything that comes to the assembly, everything. Even if you don't understand,
I get license.
So here's the license.
I go back for Sapoli, I put her inside my toilet.
Okay.
I remove the toilet, I keep her for
Okay, so like this now, so there's no license.
But you know, license I get.
So you have the license, like, so like this now, so you are not with the license now.
No, this is my ATM card, no, there with you.
Okay, no problem.
In a sane country, Aliko Dangote would have been in jail, and his company, Dangote wherever, would have been closed. At the rates with which his drivers are buying people all over the place, especially in Edo State. Aliko Dangote calls himself the richest man in Africa, yet Nigerians are no longer feeling the impact of this rich man, other than to be buying people all over the place. Seun Kuti came out and said that after the death of 20 people that were crushed by Aliko Dangote drivers, that ordinarily that would have brought down the company, because by now all those people would not only have been in jail, but the company would have been facing serious lawsuits, civil suits, that the company would be spending so much money on compensation and settling the families and the victims that Dangote company would have shut down. Look at all the drivers that are being interrogated. They do not have driver's license, and by the time they stop all these clowns who claim to be working for Dangote company, you will see that they are either working for one company that is another company that is working under Dangote, not directly Dangote. So in the end, Dangote can deny and excuse himself from all this pipeline that is going around. And this makes very dark man to say that, is it that Dangote is like an Azaman who is the collector? All these companies will be running business under his name and will be sending, his own cut to him, and then that has now become like a mafia empire. If not that the country is scared, that is our leaders who are a disgrace, to democracy, are scared of Dangote, what will it take Tinubu or anybody to call Dangote off over what Dangote is doing? And this is what Aliko Dangote has been doing for years. If not that it happened to finance system and very dark man echoed it, these people would have continued with their impunity and their reign of recklessness, where EFCC or road safety cannot even stop these drivers without them even having driver's license, because they are probably from a certain place, or they are working for a certain very big man who calls himself the richest man in Africa. And this is why this man has called him out, Dumeje, the pastor, that this man calls himself the richest man, yet people are not feeling the impact of this richest man, and that it's a shame that this kind of person will be the richest man in Africa, because he's not helping people. And now he has told him to come and see him, So that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And remain your boy, Ernest Omozokwe Adebayo Okoje, signing out. Peace.